16th July 2025.
The day the idea of this conference was first shared.
And since then, 207 days of planning, perseverance, and teamwork have led us to this moment.
A thought that lived with us even longer now stands alive before us, brought to life through collective effort, dedication, and the coming together of everyone who believes in the journey of the Princeton Foundation.
With immense pride and joy, we welcome you all to Elevate 2026.
The first annual conference of the Princeton Foundation for Peace and Learning.
My name is Vasushri Prasad, and I'm a third-year English major from St. Stephen's College.
And I am Yanshi Vyas, pursuing multidisciplinary studies in my second year at Miranda House.
Together, we are deeply honored to stand before you today as the organizing secretaries of this conference. Addressing such a distinguished gathering and witnessing months of collective endeavor come to life gives us immense pleasure and hope.
Welcome once again to this celebration of vision, collaboration, and the shared pursuit of learning, growth, and development.
To begin this auspicious afternoon on a note of grace and reverence, we now move to the ceremonial lighting of the lamp.
A tradition that marks the beginning of a journey guided by wisdom and collective purpose.
May we now request our esteemed guest of the day, Dr. Naresh Sihan and Shri Bharat Lal, along with the members of Board of Advisors and Board of Directors and our distinguished dignitaries to kindly join us on stage for the lamp lighting ceremony as we formally inaugurate Elevate 2026 and seek blessings for meaningful dialogue and collaboration ahead.
Adding to this sacred beginning, we now invite the musical choir to present our Saraswati Vandana, seeking the blessings of Goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of knowledge, art, and wisdom. The performance will be led by Arushi Aryan, along with the talented performers Pavani Joshi, Maria Teresa George, Yagya Achintya Tripathi, and Annapurna Bharti.
We may request the choir to kindly take the positions and begin the invocation.
tuna katta dhagir dhinna din din dhagir tuna katta dhagir dhinna din din dhagir tuna katta dhagir dhinna dha dhagir dhinna dha dhagir dhinna dha tu shvet varni kamal pe viraje haathon mein veena mukut sar pe saaje tu shvet varni kamal mein viraje haathon mein veena mukut sar pe saaje mita de tu man ke andhere hamare mita de tu man ke andhere hamare उजालों का हमको तू संसार दे माँ हे शारदे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ हे शारदे माँ हे शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ
Thank you for that beautiful invocation.
Good afternoon. My name is Preyoshi Das.
And my name is Komal.
It is now my privilege to invite Professor Randeep Guleria, Chairman of the Board of Advisors, Princeton Foundation, India, to deliver the welcome address.
Professor Guleria is currently serving as the president of AIIMS Bilaspur and is the former director of AIIMS Delhi. He is a world-renowned expert in respiratory and sleep medicine. And he has been advisor to several international organizations, including CDC USA, WHO, international agencies of energy, and European commissions.
Professor Guleria, sir, has been a member of several committees in the Government of India, including the Health Ministry, Department of Science and Technology, ICMR, National Institute of Virology, and several organizations like UPSC and International Commonwealth Fellowship. Sir has more than 400 publications in the international and national journals, 49 chapters in various national and international books, and has delivered more than 300 lectures in international and national conference.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you. Dear dignitaries, guests, parents, and students who are present here, let me take this opportunity first to really congratulate Dr. Ashutosh and Ramnik Pathak for the excellent work that they've been doing for the last 15 years as far as Princeton Foundation is concerned, and supporting and empowering women in our country through scholarships and fellowships. Remotely, I may say, they've been doing it from the US for so many years, and that is truly a remarkable journey that they've been through. And today, seeing so many young women who are feeling empowered and listening to their stories before lunch was something which was really heartening and something that really made us realize the work that they're doing. So I think what they're doing is trying to transform the country through women education as a pathway to leadership in social justice. And I personally believe that women education and empowerment of women is the most enduring measure of a civilization if it wants to really move forward. And today's gathering, as far as Elevate is concerned, is a moment in that direction. When women are educated, societies become much more peaceful and resilient, and therefore women education is the center for all development as far as not only a nation is concerned, but as far as family is concerned. And this actually leads to what I would say is leadership, and we saw that today in the morning that there were women who felt that they were empowered and could therefore become leaders in the future. And it's important for them to understand that leadership does not begin with authority or titles. It begins with awareness, confidence, and moral courage, all of which comes through education and feeling self-empowered. India's own history reminds us of this. When Savitribai Phule opened the first school for girls in Pune, she was not holding office, and this is more than 200 years ago. She was exercising leadership through education. When women like Pandita Ramabai challenged social exclusion through learning, they laid the foundation of justice long before laws were followed. Therefore, education gives women a voice where there was silence, choice where there was limitation, and avenues where there was dependence. And I think that the girls today who are part of this Princeton Foundation are going to really find all of this is available for them. I also believe that leadership and social justice are inseparable. There can be no true leadership without social justice, and no social justice without equal access to education. India has seen this repeatedly. We've seen this in women leaders shaping local governance through parliament, through Panchayat Raj institutions, to the president of our country, all of which has really led to more and more of women empowerment. Therefore, I personally believe, and this is why all of us have got involved in Princeton Foundation, that educating women is not charity. It is equity, it is justice, it is a nation building. And the government of India itself has taken a number of measures to strengthen this women education and leadership. We have initiatives like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, which have reinforced the importance of educating the girl child. The National Education Policy 2020 places strong emphasis on inclusion, gender equity, and access to higher education for first-generation learners. And I think Princeton Foundation is working to complement these national efforts by ensuring that deserving young women do not lose access to higher educations due to financial or any social barriers. All of you girls who are recipient of the Princeton Foundation Scholarship or Fellowship, you must remember that social justice sometimes is discussed in courts or let's say by policymakers or in the news media, but actually social justice roots lies in classrooms and in homes, because that's where actually the ground reality is. And when a girl enters college in our country, she challenges inequality. She reshapes the family's expectation, and she becomes a visible example in her own community. And it equips this woman, once you get college education, to think critically. It also equips you to engage in social, economic, and scientific challenge. And I think it also equips you to develop leadership and communication skill. And I hope to see that in all of the recipients of the Princeton Foundation Scholarship and Fellowship. Do remember that this fellowship is, that you are getting this fellowship, or when you're getting this fellowship, you are the emerging leaders chosen for your merit, resilience, and sense of purpose. Like countless before you, you have a purpose in your life, and education is one way to achieve that purpose. Your success will travel far beyond into families, neighborhoods, and generations yet to come. This foundation basically empowers you to question injustice, to advocate inclusion, and to use knowledge ethically, and to lift others as you rise. So remember, this is not only something that it's your responsibility, but there is also a commitment to do social service as you get this fellowship and as you get more and more empowered. Anurag, I think you can also. So today we honor the families who choose to educate daughters, sometimes at personal sacrifice, and we heard stories in the morning of how a lot of these students actually came from such families. And in towns and villages across India, when parents send their daughters to college, they quietly challenge centuries of limitations. This courage is leadership in its purest form. And therefore, as this journey begins, I invite each scholar to ask not only what will education give me, but also what will I give back because of my education. And I encourage you to lead with courage, lead with empathy, lead with justice, and lead with peace. On behalf of Princeton Foundation for Peace and Learning, I welcome you not just to this program, but to a lifelong journey of purposeful leadership and social justice. This is a collective work, And it's a collective responsibility not only of all of us who are members, but each individual here to see how we can support women education, empower them, and really make sure that we have gender equality and equality for everyone, no matter what be his sex, caste, or creed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Guleria, for those inspiring words and for setting the tone for today's conference. Professor Guleria continues to serve as the chairman at Medanta, the Medicity Hospital in Gurgaon. Your insight reminds us of the transformative power of education and the responsibility we all share.
Greetings, my name is Javeria.
And my name is Harshita.
And now we would like to take you on a visual journey. One that captures not just the milestones of the Princeton Foundation, but the aspirations, dreams, and the human stories that give it life.
This is the story of why the foundation exists, of unspoken hopes, of young voices seeking purpose, and of a belief that learning and peace can transform lives.
As you watch this video, we invite you to feel the journey, the challenges, and the hope that brought us here together.
May we request the lighting and AV team to roll the video?
आदाब, मेरा नाम जमशीदा सिद्दीकी है। मैं बीएफ फाउंडेशन का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ। हमें इस स्कॉलरशिप से बहुत सहारा मिला है। इस स्कॉलरशिप से मेरी बेटी को आगे बढ़ने की प्रेरणा मिलती है। अंत में मैं सभी पीएफ मेंबर्स का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ।
Receiving this Princeton scholarship is not just a financial support, it is a gateway of my future. Being awarded with this Princeton scholarship is a rare privilege to me, and it helps me to improve my interpersonal skills.
Due to Princeton scholarship by selected to me, I am very happy, and my parents are also very happy because reduce my parents.
I really wanted to thank the Princeton family for selecting me for the past 4 years. It's not a scholarship, but it's also been a emotional support to each one of us. I and my family are very lucky to be a part of this. My parents were especially thanking all the committee members who have been selecting me from the past 4 years. Thank my mentors who have been the constant support to each one of us to make a difference in the world, to make ourselves better, to bring a change from ourselves, from our family, to make a difference in the world, to make a change in the world.
Awarded with the Princeton Foundation scholarship along with 8 other women.
Associated with Princeton Foundation and will strive to uphold its values while making the most out of this opportunity to serve, grow, and learn.
truly inspiring reflection of how education, when supported with care and opportunity, becomes the foundation of women's empowerment.
Greetings, my name is Maria.
And my name is Archa.
Every great institution has a story, and every story begins with a vision.
And what started as a vision for equitable education and women's empowerment has grown into a community of learners, dreamers, and change makers because of his belief in what is possible when education opportunity meets courage.
It is our pleasure to have with us the founder of the Princeton Foundation, whose commitment brought this initiative into being and whose constant support and guidance have shaped the journey we celebrate today.
May I now invite Dr. Ashutosh K. Pathak, founder of the Princeton Foundation for Peace and Learning, to share with us the journey and vision of the organization.
Dr. Pathak's dedication to creating educational opportunities has transformed countless lives. Please join us in welcoming to the stage.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you? So let me start with a shlok. Avahanam najanami, najanami visarjanam, pujam chaiva najanami, chamyatah parmeshwari. This is a prayer, an invocation of God for the forgiveness. Forgiveness of what? Forgiveness on behalf of the organizing committee. The organizing committee members worked day and night for months to organize this conference. They did their best to organize it, but if there was any shortcoming, if there was any mistake inadvertently that happened on behalf of the organizing committee, I ask for your forgiveness. Please forgive and bless this event with your blessings. So now I ask the organizing committee members to please stand up for 1 second so that everybody can see who these students were. Please give a round of applause. Have a seat. Now, many of you might be wondering how this all started. This didn't start 6 months back. This didn't start 1 year or 2 years or even 15 years back. This started decades back. And there was one incident that led to this, what we are seeing today. When I was in elementary school, one day, as you all know, in Indian household, there are maid servants who come and wash your utensils, which is not a very, I am a big, I respect the labor a lot. However, washing the utensils while sitting on the floor is not a very fancy job to do, right? So one day, the maid servant of our home, she couldn't come to wash the utensils, and she sent her daughter to wash the utensils at our home. And that girl was sitting on the floor of my kitchen. She was washing the utensil. I was, maybe I was 8 or 9 years old. So I was standing there, and suddenly my elder sister, who was doing undergraduate course BA in a college, she came in the kitchen, right, where this girl was sitting on the floor washing the utensils. And this girl turned back, looked at my sister, and when they looked at each other, the kind of embarrassment I saw on that girl's face, I still cannot think about that moment without a lump in my throat, because they were classmates in the college. That was the moment I decided that when I grow up, I will do something so that no girl should go through this kind of situation in her life. So that was the moment, then this all started. So in 2011, which is 15 years back, we were trying to do something of this sort, but 15 years back it materialized. And this scholarship program started with one college in Varanasi, and where we started sponsoring college education of girls of 10 students every year. And that continued for 10 years, but we realized that that was not enough. That was not enough. Not financial support, giving them the financial support is not enough. We have to do something more. So we introduced the concept of mentorship, which is giving them the professional mentorship as well as holistic mentorship, cultivate them as a holistic human being, socially responsible human being. So that was started in 2020. Then 2-3 years back, we realized that even that is not enough. We cannot continue to sponsor 100 girls every year and then make these 100 girls successful. So we thought about what to do next. So 2-3 years back, the program evolved again into leadership. So now, when we select the students, we don't select them for their scholarship, for their growth, for their success. We select them because of their leadership capabilities. So now, when you see the batch, the students from this batch or previous batch, they are not students, they are leaders. And I now invite all these leaders to please stand up. Please stand up of this batch. Now, let's give them a round of applause. These are our leaders. In their hand, we are handing over the world. And believe me, we are handing over the world in a better hand. You can sit now. And to these leaders, I have a request that from now onwards, you have to take the responsibility, take the ownership to be more. Don't focus on just your own success, just your own growth. You have been chosen with a dream, with an aspiration that you will change the world. That's our aspiration. You all are good, but now you have to become great. And remember, pibanti nadhya swayameva nambhyah swayam na khadanti falani vriksha dharadharo varshati natma heto paropakaraya satam vibhutiyah. The cloud, the river doesn't drink its own water. The cloud doesn't rain for itself. The tree doesn't eat its own fruit. And that's how great people, they live for others. So are you willing to live for others? Are you willing to live for others? Yes, sir. That's how we want to hear this. So that was the second aspect of my what I wanted to convey today. Now finally the third component. How many of you have heard the name of Dev Vrat? Anybody? Okay. Who was Dev Vrat? It was the name of Bhishma Pitama. Why from Dev Vrat, how he became Bhishma Pitama? Anybody else wants to say yeah? Why he is called Bhishma Pitama? So उन्होंने ये भीष्म हाँ.
So it said that he took a Bhishma Pratigya. He took a huge vow, and that's how he became Bhishma Pitama.
And what was that vow?
And the vow was that he would not be the king himself, but serve the people.
No, there was one thing more. Yeah. So as you, the Pratigya was that he took a vow that he will never remarry and dedicate his life to something better, something for somebody else. That Bhish means Bhishan Pratigya. That was in Kali Yuga. No, that was not in Kali Yuga, that was in Dwapar. But that kind of things happen all the time. That happens even now. We just don't know this. And now I want everybody to sit, please, and listen. This is because this is very, very important what I'm going to tell you now. We talk about the Bhish Pratigya. I am going to tell you a story of a girl who at the age of 27 years, she was not much older than most of you. She was just 2, 3, 4 years older than all of you, right? Or 5 years older than all of you. So at the age of 27 years, she lost her husband. And she took that Bhish Pratigya that she will not remarry. She had a son and a daughter. The daughter was just 3 months old. And she took a vow, that girl took a vow that she will never remarry. She will dedicate her life to raise that girl and make her a good human being. And she never remarried. She took that Bhish Pratigya. And why I am telling you all that story? Because that girl, if that girl had not taken that vow, none of us would be sitting in this room today. All of this Princeton Foundation, all of you winners, our dignitaries, our respectable, highly, highly respected, distinguished luminaries, none of you would be in this room today. It is because of that one girl who took that vow that we all are here today. And that girl is here today amidst us. And the daughter, she, for her who has sacrificed her own happiness, that daughter was born today on 8th February. And that Bhishma, that girl who dedicated her life, I invite her to please come on this stage for a minute and remind all of you that once you are faced with a situation, you can take a decision, and your decision can snowball, can catapult, can make a change in the world, what we are seeing today. I invite that Bhishma to come on the stage for a minute, please. Just a minute. She is an inspiration that whenever you take a decision, you can change the world. You can change lives. You want to say a word?
I'm thankful to you that you are my son and my daughter. मैं बहुत खुश हूँ. आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. मैं भूल गया क्या बोलूँ. मेरे को बेटे बोलना नहीं चाह रहा। मैं बहुत आशु जी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ कि ये मेरे सन इन लॉ हैं। इनकी बदौलत मैं आज यहाँ पर आप सबके सामने आई हूँ। मेरे पास इतने वर्ड्स नहीं हैं, लेकिन मैं कुछ कह नहीं सकती ज़्यादा बेटे। बोले आशु जी, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, जिसने मुझे यहाँ तक पहुँचाया बेटे।
And today is Dr. Raminder's birthday, so this is another auspicious day for me. So with that, I conclude my presentation. I just hoped that I was able to share something which inspired you, which inspired you to do more, to read more, to be more, and take the responsibility of the world on your shoulders. You know what you are, but you don't know what you can be. Okay? So realize and actualize your full potential. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for coming on the stage. Thank you, sir, for sharing the journey and the vision of the foundation with us. It is truly inspiring to see how this vision continues to open new paths and opportunities for so many young minds.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mohini. And as we continue this celebration of learning and culture, we now turn to an art form that beautifully brings together expression, discipline, and storytelling. In our tradition, art and education have always gone hand in hand, shaping both intellect and spirit. So today, it is now time to experience the timeless connection through the classical dance form of Bharatnatyam. And for this, I would like to invite Prerna Thakur on stage for her performance. Please welcome her with a huge round of applause.
Shankar Thank you, Prerna, for this mesmerizing performance. The grace and dedication reflected in classical arts mirror the commitment we seek in education. Greetings, my name is Priya. We have now reached a pivotal moment in today's conference as we move towards the formal inauguration of Elevate 2026.
To deliver the inaugural address, we are honored to be joined by Sri Bharat Lal Sir, the Secretary General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Human Rights Commission of India.
A former civil servant with over 3.5 decades of distinguished public service, Sri Bharat Lal's career has been marked by pioneering contribution in good governance, human rights, public service delivery, environmental conservation, and sustainable development. Before assuming his current role at NHRC in July 2026, he served as the Director General of the National Center for Good Governance, where he led several initiatives in public policy and governance reform. Earlier, as the Secretary to Lokpal of India, he played a significant role in strengthening the country's anti-corruption framework.
As the founding mission director of the Jal Jeevan Mission, his leadership proved transformative, ensuring access to clean tap water for over 194 million rural households, along with school and daycare centers. Prior to this, he also served as Additional Secretary to then the President of India.
His visionary initiatives, including the Chiranjeevi Yojana, Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana, and the establishment of WASMO, has received national and international recognition, including the United Nations Public Service Award and the Commonwealth Association for Public Administration and Management Award.
Known for his forward-thinking and innovative approach, Sri Bharat Lal has consistently advanced governance, reforms, digital transformations, and public grievance redressal, while remaining deeply committed to human rights and inclusive development.
May I now request Sri Bharat Lal to kindly grace the stage to deliver the inaugural address.
I would also like to invite Professor Randeep Guleria to kindly join us on stage to facilitate the speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your kind words. Dr. Randeep Guleria, Dr. Trehan, my esteemed senior colleague, Ajay Bisaria ji, Astosh ji, Justice Kohli, I think she left. Ladies and gentlemen and dear students, first and foremost, I join all of you in commending Prerna's performance. I think once again, may I request you to to applaud with round of applause. That is wonderful, you know. And Ramnik, thank you and wish you very, very happy birthday. Keep on doing such a wonderful work. Well, friends, as you know, I think here, everyone, each one who is present here, I think, you are doing some wonderful job, wonderful work actually. Very pious soul, doing something very great. So, maybe not an occasion to talk about, you know, many things about human right or human values or you know, but few things I would like to share today. I have a privilege of knowing Dr. Guleria and Ashutosh Pathak ji, of course Dr. Trehan, you know, everyone. I think what could be better service? Taking care of others, thinking about others. We all have seen that in medical profession or in teaching or, you know, you think about the students, you think about others. And I think people like me are standing here because somebody, that teacher, somebody took care of a person like me. And I think all these people are doing the same thing. They are also here, they reach to these positions because somebody, you know, helped them, kind of hand-holding. And during COVID-19, I had the privilege of working very closely with Dr. Guleria. And we saw that thought process, that how to think about others, not only about yourself. This life is all about thinking about others. Friends, Princeton Foundation, the work it is doing, I think many of you are involved. And I think your success, your performance and your character and what you are going to do basically, that reflects Princeton Foundation work. And today's theme, Elevate, beautiful theme actually, which has been done. But as in the presentation, it was said that, you know, girl education is the most important part. And as you all know that so many people in this country, you know, starting from Dr. Karve, Jyotiba Phule, I mean, see the people, the kind of, you know, work have done. But 2-3 things I would like to say. That A, let's not forget that it's a 5,000-year-old civilization, this country. And this civilization has certain strength. And one of the strengths we see in this society, of course, certain problems, certain issues have come up in last few centuries or millennia, but broadly see, that women always had a very, very high position in our society. Just imagine 3 most important things in life: knowledge, wealth and power. And for all these 3, we have a tradition that when you want to get these things, you remember you worship some god or goddess. But all these basic 3 things, there are only female goddess. There is no male god. There is a Saraswati or Lakshmi or Durga or Kali. I mean, it has, you know, that shows the civilizational ethos of this country. In fact, I had the privilege of working with the National Human Rights Commission. And just think about it, that in 1948, everybody think that human right is something very, it came after Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and especially civilized West, which gave this thought and this thinking and this idea. But see 1948, when this Universal Declaration of Human Rights, post-World War, so many women, so many children, suffered. But that time, it was the Indian ethos which spoke about equality. The Indian delegation led by Dr. Hansa Mehta, who was professor in MS University, Vadodara, later became Vice Chancellor. Her husband happened to be first Chief Minister of Gujarat, actually. And Dr. Lakshmi Menon, they persuaded, they insisted that in Article 1, this phrase which rest of the drafting committee has almost approved it, that all men are born free and equal. It was Dr. Hansa Mehta, Dr. Lakshmi Menon, who persuaded all the delegates to change this all men to all human being, that all human beings are born free and equal. This is our ethos. She was reflecting Indian ethos. I think this we have to understand. Yes, there have been problems in society. Over the last few centuries, we have developed certain biases, unbiases, prejudices, certain kind of, I think this society also has this resilience, and that's why people like Ram Mohan Roy or Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar or Jyotiba Phule, I think these people, they came and they are reforming the society from inside. But the best part is that if you see the present. I mean, I was working with the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and I had the opportunity to deal with central universities and central institutions. And the data and all those information, I used to see that 43% STEM graduates in this country are girls. And when Honorable President of India will go in any convocation, almost 95% rank holders used to be girls actually. I think this country is making this progress. It's a closed door meeting. I can share one thing. In 2014, the present Prime Minister, when cabinet was being formed, just see the thought process. He said, I want at least, if not 33%, at least 25% my cabinet women members. And that's how out of 24 plus 1, 25 member cabinet, 6 cabinet ministers were women. See this thought process, as Dr. Guleria mentioned, leadership development in women. In this country at the moment, more than 46% representative in local self-governments are women. 1.46 million women leaders are there. And imagine that 1/3 of the seats which are going to be reserved in next round of election in Assembly and Lok Sabha and Parliament. Just imagine this leader. Responsible and responsive leadership coming from grassroots level. I think these are the some development. If you see the scientific field, you go to administration, you will find that women are coming forward. They are taking responsibilities and they are delivering. And how government just little bit tweaking. In fact, one decision was taken way back in Gujarat, but of course at national level, that all government beneficiary, and one example I'll give. As we know that for Indian women, 2 things very important: house and her home, and children education. These are 2 things like core. And one decision was taken actually, just one small decision, which is very big, that government houses, whatever constructed, it will be given in the name of a woman, person of the household actually. And see the dynamics change. 75-76% are sole women beneficiary, and then either joint name actually. These small intervention, this society, this country is moving in this direction. In stamp duty 1% or 2% rebate, it helping women empowerment. That is the collective will of the people of this country. That we all have to keep in mind. I mean, take judiciary after public interest litigation and so many judgment actually which help women empowerment. Or take the case of transgender, making society much more compassionate, so much more empathy and So I think this country is moving in this direction. That equality, justice, liberty, fraternity, I think really hallmark of our society. And I think equality basically in not only on paper, but it's daily experience. But yes, the reality is even today also. In National Human Rights Commission, we have around 40 plus young professionals. And I was just a couple of months back, I was reviewing, certain things, about safety and security of women at workplaces and public spaces. And during interaction and this thing, one girl came out, very said, sir, even when we travel in metro, even today, you will find that there are men and boys who will keep on staring at you. This is also reality. And I think this reality, in my opinion, that is one reality we have to address. That education, not in college and university, but that education at home, that why you make women and girls, uncomfortable. I think this kind of a small intervention actually will make society much more safe, secure, and girls are able to live that dignified life. Well, today I congratulate all of you for joining this initiative, and I'm sure that the motto or the spirit of this foundation, that think about others, I think we will carry on. This is one takeaway, and just keep in mind that somebody, some group, some people invested in you, how you can give back to society at some stage. That is the one thing. If you are able to help only one person, another girl, another, I mean, some great work is going on, I tell you, in this country. My daughter was studying here in, Convent of Jesus Mary. Just imagine, every Wednesday they will say that bring 1 onion and 2 potatoes. And if you can bring more. And taking all these vegetables to some slums, these children going and, developing this kind of empathy and compassion, Or my daughter was asked that you have to teach a girl child from slum. And you won't believe, not only she was in 8th standard and onward till 12th, she has to teach. Every day for 2 hours, after 2 o'clock, she will teach. And what it started? Teaching, okay, she will bring pencil box, she will bring book, she will something to, comb, something, to, small things, I think this is small hand holding, very, very small hand holding, doesn't, this thing. While closing, I will just request, especially my young friends, as you have seen, this group who is mentoring you, if I have to see, I see 2 things. A, sensitivity. They have sensitivity. They are able to think about others. They think about their need. Please imbibe this sense of, sensitivity. And B, after having sensitivity, develop responsiveness. If you have sensitivity but not responding to someone's misery, someone's pain, someone's, it's not of any use actually. It's of no use. I think the only message I would like to give, that let's have some sensitivity, whether it's girls or women or even poor or transgender people, on the road actually, we just condemn them to be criminal. They are doing only begging and badhai, that's it, nothing else. We just simply, sensitivity need. I mean, last few years or last few decades, see the Transgender Act, Mental Health Care Act, these kind of, things have been done, actually, Disability Act, women's, this thing. I think what we need, that responsiveness, that we should act on it. In fact, a lot need to be done. I'm part and parcel of the system. We keep on pushing the government, that government has created that transgender card has to be made so they can get benefit, including sex reassignment surgery, etc., and all those things. But we have to ensure that everybody get that card. Mental Health Care Act, in 2017, we have made a law in this country that in 10 years we have world class, in same proportion, that kind of psychiatrists are mental health care professional. But 2027 is going to come, but we have not been because so many issues or so many challenges. My limited point is that when it comes to human right or someone's dignity, it is not only always the state or government or some alien who is basically going to know this thing. In our kind of society, I think we are equally responsible. Most of our evils, most of our problems originate with, take violence against women. It is not the government and government functionary comes and, dowry death or, these things take place. It's society actually. So people like you are going to have this message that please contribute in making this society, this concept of fraternity, to internalize. It's not that human right is violated by government alone. It is the you and me basically we keep on, in our kind of society, most untouchability. It is not the government is practicing, it is you and me are practicing, So friends, you are the ambassador. You are the ambassador of these good thoughts. You are going to set example. I take this opportunity to wish you all very best and do well in life. But more importantly, this light which has been started, try to take it forward and try to lighten up, try to brighten someone's life, help others to achieve what you have achieved. Thank you once again. Congratulations to Ashutosh ji and board headed by Dr. Guleria and others, and wish you all great success. Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
I would like to invite Professor Randeep Guleria, sir, to kindly join us on the stage to facilitate the speaker. Thank you so much, sir, for those thought-provoking insights. Your words will resonate with us along after today's conference conclude.
Greetings, myself Arisha Siddiqui. India's diversity is truly its strength, and our folk tradition carries the stories, rhythm, and wisdom of generations. Continuing our cultural journey, we now bring to you a cultural, vibrant folk dance performance celebrating this rich heritage. Presenting the folk dance of Uttarakhand, performed by Sneha Malasi, Mrigangi Senwal, Rashi Kapkoti, Anjali Sharma, Krishma, and Pratishtha Dinkar.
कह देखी मन करूं तो जी भरी चाहिए तेर मुल मुल हसन तेर तक तक जखन आहा मोह मिठ बुलाए दीदी हाट की झमना थोरी दिल लिए तू चोरी चोरी दीदी हाट की झमना थोरी दिल लिए तू चोरी चोरी उजाई मुखड़ी तेरी झमना छोरी दिल में बस के मेरी झमना छोरी उजाई मुखड़ी तेरी दिल में बस के मेरी झमना छोरी दीदी हाट की झमना छोरी दिल लिए तू चोरी चोरी
हाय ककड़ी छिले मां लूण पिसो सिले मां हाय ककड़ी छिले मां लूण पिसो सिले मां मोहना मोहना बस के चला दिले मां मोहना बैठी रे मेरा दिले मां हाय ककड़ी छिले मां लूण पिसो सिले मां हाय ककड़ी छिले मां लूण पिसो सिले मां मोहना मोहना बस के चला दिले मां मोहना बैठी रे मेरा दिले
हे मा चंडिका रुनिकाला हे धने चारु धनी निकराला हे भूमि की देवी तू देवी जाना धनी बेजा मा चामुंडा
बैठा को तेरी आसमां मेरी भवानी प्रेम समर्पित मेरी भूमि भूम्याला हे मेरी माता ज्वाला भवानी ऐजा ऐजा माता मेरी भूमिका भवानी ऐजा ऐजा माता मेरी कुल की भगवती दैनी वेदा माता मेरी भूमिका ज्वाला हे माता मेरी तू ही थे आशा अरे हे माता मेरी तू ही मेरो विश्वास है नारे मेरी माता भवानी हे जगदम्बा मेरी दुर्गा भवानी ऐजा ऐजा माता मेरी कुल की भगवती दैनी वेदा भूमिका पर नाच मेरी माता नाच बिखरा रूप धैर्य मेरी माता जय भवानी जय दुर्गा जय दुर्गा ज्वाला जय ज्वाला तेरा ध्यान जो बोलो जय ज्वाला तेरा ध्यान जो बोलो मोती के बोलो मोती पूजी की पटोलो जय ज्वाला तेरा ध्यान जो बोलो आप होली मेरी माता परचा की पूरी जय ज्वाला तेरा ध्यान जो बोलो जय ज्वाला तेरा ध्यान जो बोलो जय ज्वाला तेरा ध्यान जो बोलो जय ज्वाला
कंठ का रंग होएगा नीला निराला नेत्रुमा पड़ी जहर की ज्वाला मस्तक मां पैरी चंद्रमा की कला डमरू त्रिशूल हाथ जा मौसमी विभूति गान जा चित मन भगवान की पैरी चोली जा शिवानो गे बाबा शिव जटा धारिए भैरू तुम जय करला ओ बद्रीनाथ वाले ओ भैरू तुम जय करला ओ रुद्रनाथ वाले ओ भैरू तुम जय करला ओ यो तुम्हारी चौकी प्रभु तुम
What a delightful celebration of our culture. Let us once again appreciate our performers for bringing the vibrant spirit of India's folk traditions to the stage.
We would now like to arrive at the commencement address, a moment to reflect on the journey ahead and the responsibilities we carry forward from here.
To deliver this address, we are deeply honored to have with us Dr. Naresh Trihan, one of the most respected cardiovascular surgeons in the world and the chairman and managing director of Medanta, the Medicity, Gurugram.
Dr. Trihan practiced at the New York University Medical Center in Manhattan from 1971 to 1988 before he arrived to India to establish the Scots Heart Institute and Research Center, significantly advancing cardiac care in the country.
Over the course of his remarkable career, he has performed more than 48,000 heart surgeries, introducing several cardiovascular surgical procedures in India for the very first time. He has also had the honor of serving as a personal surgeon to the President of India.
Dr. Trihan is a member of several national and international professional societies and has been honored with numerous prestigious awards, including the Dr. B.C. Roy Award, the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award, as well as the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to medicine.
It is truly a privilege to have with us today, sir.
Before we invite Dr. Trihan to the stage, it is my honor to call upon Justice Hema Kohli to felicitate him.
Justice Hema Kohli is a former judge of the Supreme Court of India and a member of the Board of Advisors of the Princeton Foundation. With an illustrious career in law and justice, she has been recognized for her deep commitment to constitutional values, human rights, and the rule of law. Her guidance and association with the Foundation continue to inspire its efforts towards equitable education and inclusive development.
We are honored to invite Justice Hema Kohli to the stage to felicitate Dr. Naresh Trihan.
Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Naresh Trihan to deliver the Princeton Foundation Commencement Speech 2026.
Whoa. Good afternoon. Thank you for giving me this privilege of being amongst you for the Women Empowerment and Gender Equity Modern Society lecture. It is amazing the kind of work which was initiated by Dr. Ashutosh and his wife, that this in the last 15 years has come so far and that we have so many capable or enabled, I should say. I'm impressed by their delivery of introduction, the way they have organized this function, and the fact that all the dignitaries who have been contributing to it have made it such a success and a good journey for 15 years now. I would like to, first of all, correct the misnomer, terrible misnomer, the weaker sex. Actually, this just represents the centuries or forever the efforts men made to suppress the women through history. So one must understand that if women were not there, there would be no men. So we should not forget that very principle where we came from. The second thing is that if you look at the daily life, the contours of the daily life of a woman, they are smarter, their EQs are much higher, they not only give birth to children but take care of them, and yet they have to deal with men in their homes. So who's the stronger sex? So we must correct that first, that I must say that the multitasking a woman can do, men will never be able to do. And second thing is, you saw the performance, the two beautiful performances. Very few men would be able to even display that energy. So in other words, we should correct that as we move forward. Now you can't undo history in one day, but certainly efforts like what Dr. Ashutosh and his family have done is basically one of the multiplier effects of, and what Dr. Lal also said, Bharat Lal said, that look, you are the ones who have been fortunate enough to be able to be chosen on your steam. It's not that it's a favor, it's not charity. On your own talent and grit that you got selected as a Princeton fellow. Okay. Now, ultimately, the responsibility falls on you and all of us to say the candle that was lit by the Ashutosh and his family's effort only needs to be transferred to all of us to say, what can we do on a daily basis, not something that is sort of charity kind of thought or philanthropy kind of thought, but correction of the entire misnomer that was created over centuries. So I must compliment the effort, but India happens to be one of the countries where I think women empowerment is taking a much more rapid pace than some of the other countries. You can see women have made such a big difference in wherever they have gone. And the fact that they have been sort of this whole culture that was actually formed, and the Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi, addressed it from the ramparts of Red Fort on an Independence Day about 2-3 years ago, when he also reiterated the fact that the first thing that we need to do is to educate the boys. It must start early in life, it must start from schools, and the fact that they must know how to respect everyone, especially women in their lives. So I think that today's event not only underscores the fact that the journey has started and all the girls who have benefited from this scholarship should actually be the torch bearers for the future. Second, you must also understand who's suffering. Countries are suffering because it has been proven again and again where gender equality has taken place to a greater degree than what has happened in some of the countries. The economy has done much better. That means that the contribution of women to the nation building is also a huge desirable fact. So there is basically a dichotomy here. On one hand, like somebody said earlier, that we worship all the Durgas and the Kalis and as women who have actually brought a huge balance to our culture, our society, our religion. And then how come we have flipped it on its head and started the whole fact that the basic idea is to rule your domain. I think a lot of it comes from the insecurity of men. And if we can somehow address that issue from the very foundation days, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you hear this, a lot of the fault lies with the mothers also. That Raja Beta syndrome is to be banished. That's where the misconception starts. The big celebration when a boy is born. That's all, I mean, disgusting if you think about it. Where did it come from? I have no idea. But actually, to a family, girls are more valuable than boys. Because it's a natural phenomena, boys will move on. And we see it on a daily basis in our patients. Who's taking care of them? The daughters. The sons, if they call or they say, how's my parent? That's a lot. But the soul is stuck of the girl or daughter for their parents. So I think in all aspects, if you look at it, there has to be a balance that we must strike for ourselves, not for a favor to anybody, but to ourselves to say, where should we be placing? So I'm not in any way suggesting that women should all be leaving home and the children are not taken care of. Many countries now have changed, mainly in the Western world, where they give equal time off from your employment to take care of the children in their in their infancy. So I think that these are movements which will eventually be able to bring freedom to our women at home who are mentally saddled with the idea that they have to take care of home, which they should, but men have to participate equally in wherever they can share. What will happen? Two working members of a family can bring a lot of relief to our economic situation in the family. If you find that our ability to be able to visualize, conceptualize how a family unit should work with total respect for each other's work and finding the balance where who has to do what and what work they have to do. Somehow what has happened is also, and you see it more in Western countries than in India, is the movement of childless families. The ambition of having to work freedom has also taken its toll in the sense, if you have childless families and you show happiness, surely you're happier, you're freer, you have less responsibility, and you can live life to a greater degree in your youth, in your early years of adulthood. But the tragedy comes when you get older and there's nobody even to take. The responsibility of children is not primarily to take care of your parents, but this is a cycle of life. So I think if you don't have anybody, if nothing else kills you, loneliness does. And I've seen hundreds of examples of this, where in their youth, and I have the advantage of age on all of you, I think, that there is so many of these couples who were so proud of themselves for having figured out the balance of life and that they were living for themselves, they don't have to live for children or later on for the progeny. This is a disaster. So I think the only family unit that will work will be the unit that can share the responsibility of home and work and income and financial security for your children also, so that they can, your security to your children has to be only to the point that they are on their feet. But our obsession, people don't live their life because they want to save for the future of the children. That is also a bad part. Because if you are doing sort of dole for them as they grow older, and then you say, we have left security for them, it's not security, you're actually demeaning the value of life, because unless we all make our own lives, we will never have that respect for oneself and for your partner and for your children, because you have been burdened by what your parents did not do just to make you, give you the, if it is for education, if it is to help you find your career, absolutely yes. But it should not be that you're living your life for the future of your children. Live it in your own way and live it and leave enough for them to be able to educate themselves. No question in my mind. So sorry for this long lecture, but I didn't mean to. But I think this is a very touching event that I have come to. I was not well, but I still said I had promised Dr. Guleria, so I didn't want him to be scolding me at work every day. So anyway, I think it's a great opportunity to share with you. The fact is, I think we need to actually educate our children, our brothers, so that, I mean, mainly the male gender, which has perpetrated this on women. Women are stronger, more sensitive, multitaskers, and if they can deliver a baby and take care of them, hats off. So good luck to all of you. Please, you are the beneficiaries, you are the lucky ones. Make it multiple times luckier for other girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Trihan sir, for those inspiring words. As we carry forward the spirit of Elevate 2026, your message will continue to guide and motivate us.
As we move forward from celebration to conversation, we are reminded that true education not only informs minds, but also nurtures empathy, responsibility, and the ability to build stronger communities.
We return to the central idea that brings us together today, education and its role in shaping a healthier and more just society.
To share a younger perspective on this important theme, we now invite one of our National Scholarship winners, Shakti Mishra, to the stage to present a speech on their vision of an education that cultivates a healthy society.
Please welcome Shakti.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone, respected panelists, mentors, and my fellow students. Let me start with a small confession. For a very long time, I believe education is simple. Study hard, score well, get a degree, life sorted. But somewhere between school, college, and real life, I realized something else. That study is not something, it's about how much you understand, not about the subject, people. It's about people, society, and yourself. When I was in school, I was an average student. And honestly, I used to think toppers were so lucky. Teachers liked them, people admired them. Everything felt easier for them. Later, when I became topper myself, I have strange realization. Marks feels powerful in school, but in college, it feels very low. What actually matters is our confidence, communication, curiosity, and ability to think beyond the textbook. I was lucky to have a history teacher in class 12 who never treated education as one subject thing. His class never just history. They move through geography, polity, science, even math sometimes. And the best part, he include everyone, not just toppers. Though classes were never feel bored because education was not being delivered, it been discussed. And that's when I understood something important. A healthy society is built when a classroom became space for dialogues, not factory producing marks. During my intermediate year, many students come to me for the help. Students with the subject, career choices, or sometimes just to want to talk. They weren't incapable, they were just unsure because education has been shown to them as a competition, not growth. Because helping them just not taught them, it also helped me sometimes. And education works best way when it's shared, not a lonely race. And for women, especially in India, education is not optional. It's a weapon. And I've seen many girls studying with me till class 12 is just disappear from the classroom. Not because they lack ability, but because marriage was prioritized over learning. Education teaches women more than a subject. It teaches us our rights, our choices, and our voice. A society cannot be healthy if its half of the population is not educated. Is educated only to adjust, not to decide. So when I imagine an educated society that cultivates a healthy society, I don't imagine a perfect score or a fancy degree. I just think a classroom where questions are welcome, not judged. Curiosity matters more than ranks, and students are taught not just what to think, but how to think. Because education is not meant to produce an obedient individuals. It's meant to create an aware citizen, and society full of aware citizens is not just educated. It's healthy, compassionate, and strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakti, for setting the tone so thoughtfully.
Continuing this conversation from the perspective of students and their lived experience, we now invite another Princeton Foundation Scholarship and Fellowship recipient for the past 2 years, Arsha Agrawal, to share a broader student perspective on education and its role in shaping a healthy society.
I hope I'm audible. Vidya dadati vinayam, vinaya dhyati patritam, patritva dhanmapnoti, dhana dharmam tatat sukham. Knowledge gives humility. From humility, one attains worthiness and character. From worthiness, one acquires wealth. From wealth, righteousness follows, and then happiness. Namaste and good afternoon to the August gathering. My name is Archa Agrawal and I am a student of Miranda House and also a fellowship recipient from Princeton Foundation of Peace and Learning. Now, I do have the papers with me, but I would like to speak from my heart. And of course, I wrote this, so I should know it as well. In the current academic atmosphere, where education has become a race more so than learning, the aspect of imbibing knowledge is somehow lost because we are all focused on how many work portfolios do you have or how many internships you've done or what are your grades like. And we are all chasing goals and deadlines constantly. So where does in this atmosphere a society come up which is educated and empowered? My words might resonate most with an HR professional because I would say that human resources are the most important. Education in 21st century is not limited to textbooks and should focus more on the potential of an individual beyond their academic performance. Individuals must be empowered and elevated so that they can positively contribute to the society. Now, what would an elevated being be? Somebody who is conversationally confident, has critical thinking, but also has a moral compass. Somebody with practical skills for survival, empathetic with respect, regard, and responsibility, not just towards themselves, society, but also with one another. This is, I think, what they call holistic development, and that is what is the need of the hour. Vidya Vinyan Shobh, knowledge is adorned by humility. This is my last school's motto, which happens to be a girls' residential one, and it prides itself in the legacy of giving the girl child wings to fly. Now, Miranda House, a women's education institution, echoes the same sentiments, and so does Princeton Foundation. These young minds, they need an environment which nurtures them. Because they're very tender and impressionable, it is essential that we are surrounded by mentors and guidance that will elevate us and make us empowered. How does this empowerment really happen, you say? The best investment one can make is in education. And when foundations like Princeton Foundation and institutions like Miranda House and Birla Balika Vidyapeeth dedicatedly come together, they not just educate an individual, but they also influence and inspire the entire society. They invest in the growth of the students by ensuring that there is a safe space for their expression, empowerment, inspiration and innovation. And with that, I would like to come to an end and emphasize how in today's environment, education is more than just textbook. It is more so with what you are and who you are as a human. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Archa, for bringing forward the voices and perspective of students so thoughtfully.
To take this conversation further, we now move into a panel discussion exploring the vision of an education that cultivate a healthy society and the role mentorship initiatives like the PF's Elevate program play in shaping not only skilled professionals but also conscious and responsible citizens.
To moderate this discussion, we invite Mohini on the stage. Please welcome Mohini.
Thank you, Shikha and Arshia. So, good evening, everybody. I am Mohini. And till now, we have heard the perspective of our students on their vision of education. But I believe it is now time to steer our discussion towards some expert advice. And today, we are absolutely privileged to have 4 extraordinary individuals whose work embodies the transformative power of education across different dimensions, ranging from academia to industry and from gender equity to infrastructure development. These are leaders who have not just excelled in their fields, but have actively worked to ensure that others can follow and that society benefits from their expertise. So I would like to take the moment today to introduce you to our panelists. Our first panelist for the day is Professor Dr. Bijay Lakshmi Nanda ma'am, the principal of Miranda House and Professor of Political Science. And I have had the honor of being taught by ma'am. Her research spans gender studies, political theory and human rights. She is the author of several influential works, including Sex-Selective Abortion and the State, with numerous articles in reputed journals. A recipient of ICSSR Doctoral Fellowship and the Vice Chancellor's Teachers Excellence Award, Professor Nanda exemplifies how scholarship can drive social change. She also advises government and non-government organizations on gender policy and youth advocacy programs while providing simultaneous technical assistance to UNDP and WHO. So Professor Nanda and her work show us how the role of education is a powerful tool for social justice and gender equity. We welcome you to today's panel discussion, ma'am. I request you to join us on stage. And I also request Ambassador Mr. Ajay Bisaria, sir, to please come on the stage and felicitate ma'am with a memento. Okay, so I request Randeep Guleria, sir, to please come on this stage and felicitate ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, sir is coming to just felicitate. Please keep the applause going. Thank you so much, sir. So I would like to request you to remain on stage to felicitate our remaining panelists too. Our second panelist for the day is Professor Dr. M. Vijulata, the former in-charge Vice Chancellor of Telangana Mahila Vishwavidyalayam and Senior Professor of Chemistry with over 30 years of pioneering research in medicinal chemistry and molecular modeling. Previously, she has served as principal of University College for Women, Koti, and her laboratory has designed novel drug molecules targeting cancer therapeutics, resulting in 126 peer-reviewed publications, 3 patent applications, and 1,500 plus citations demonstrating the global impact of her scientific work. We welcome you, ma'am. We are delighted to have you here. Our third panelist for the day is Mr. BVN Rao, sir, the Executive Director and Business Chairman for Transportation and Urban Infrastructure at GMR Group, bringing a vital industry perspective to today's discussion. Mr. Rao has been associated with GMR Group since 1989, demonstrating how technical education translates into nation building through infrastructure development. With extensive experience in industrial finance and asset management, he specializes in transportation and special economic zones. As chairman of FICCI Transport Infrastructure Committee, Sir presents the critical link between education and industry and has shown sustained commitment towards providing employment to women. His vision on role of educated women in contributing towards today's future and to build a healthy nation would be vital to today's discussion. We welcome you to today's meeting, sir, to today's panel discussion, sir. And our last panelist who would be joining us through the virtual format is Professor Dr. Rachna Srivastava, the principal and professor of political science at Vasant Kanya Mahavidyalaya in Varanasi, who brings decades of academic leadership and unwavering commitment to girls' education. Just like her city, Varanasi, Professor Srivastava's research reflects a fascinating intersection of classical Indian political thought and contemporary relevance, which is evident in her project, which is currently working on exploring the modern relevance of Kautilya's Arthashastra. She has also led a UGC-sponsored project on Indo-Nepal relations, and Professor Srivastava is deeply involved in learning, mentoring students, and contributing to the curriculum development. Welcome to today's panel discussion, ma'am. We are absolutely delighted to have you here. Okay, so after introducing such a celebrated panel, the first question that I would like to pose to you all is rather simple and direct, but I would say a very profound one. What is your vision of education that cultivates a healthy society? The mic is on the podium. I would request a volunteer to listen.
The mics are there. You want me to go with the mic? Okay. I did have this mic. So that was Mohini's question about education. Thank you so much, Mr. Asutosh, Ramneet, your mother who is here with us, the inspiring lady who has brought this together. Happy birthday. And also Dr. Gulerias. I think that's quite an amazing lineup here. And also all the students who are here. We are indeed grateful. Miranda House is indeed grateful that we could be a part of the Princeton Fellowship. In that sense, this is a fellowship for leaders, and the leaders are all in this room. So again, a round of applause to all the leaders in the room. Mohini's question around what does education mean and how do we look at fostering young women for a larger landscape of education of leadership. I must say you are already doing that because that is the practice that you are bringing to us. So that's the first thing, that you are looking at engaging with critical learning. You are looking at engaging with an understanding of empathy. You are looking at engaging with the idea of emancipation. And the other part that you bring in is the idea of gratitude. We have a number of fellowships in colleges now. Government fellowships, teachers who have come forward to support students. We have the Reliance Foundation doing a number of fellowships. We have alumni and their children doing a number of fellowships. But what sets out this particular fellowship or let's say scholarship or whatever else you would like to call it is the fact that you are connected to them. This kind of a mentorship is actually something that defines education today. Young people are coming out, as you noticed the two young people who stood here, they told us that it is not just about the classrooms anymore. It is about those connections that you make with the society outside. So I believe that that connection has to come in through human connections. If you're looking at first generation learners, they are looking at other mentors who can tell them what is the road forward. And the road forward cannot be mapped out only by teachers. And I believe that is the road forward that you have brought to us. I have had a number of conversations with various scholarship people who are engaging with us, but I have never seen this kind of engagement. I must say, you must appreciate the work that you're doing, but you're also setting a model for this, and this model has to be highlighted. The fact that a group of people who are living in another part of the world come together, or somebody here comes together, or the doctors who are so well known, who have a great, another occupation to go to, they are engaging with the idea of girl-child education. This by itself is the greatest message you have brought us. This is a model. this is also a kind of a model that needs to be replicated, and you have to create that model, because this is the kind of value addition that needs to be made into the landscape of education. So I would suggest that the Princeton Peace and Learning Foundation should integrate it into the curriculum itself. This is not just about scholarships, and University of Delhi does have a value addition course, and I would recommend this to them, that you bring in a course which talks about empathy, talks about leadership, talks about support, talks about mentorship, which is for a long period of time. The young women who have come here, you can't bring them into this room if they were not feeling encouraged by this fellowship. So I must say a round of applause. I hope I have answered your question, but my focus has always been on 3 points. Number one, engagement. What is the level of human engagement you are able to give? It does, parents these days do not have the time to even talk to their children. If you are able to make that connection with them, you are able to give them that enabling environment to talk about themselves, to reach out to you. That's number one, engagement. Number two, emancipation. Are you interested in their upliftment? Elevate. That's what you spoke about, elevate. So that's number two. Number three, empathy. So if these 3 E's are joined together, education becomes the major foundation of it. So education is not just about the classroom, and our young people are telling you time and again, but I think education is about connecting the dots between engagement, emancipation and empathy. I would like to stop here and have the other panelists and listen to them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, what you told is really enlightening us, talking about empathy. And when we talk about this cultivation of education towards a healthy society, we generally say that girl students are not into science. But when we see 95% of the girl students are in science medium, and they are in STEM, and also they are in arts. Everywhere you see girl students. And not only that, we can say that as empathy comes into picture, as the earlier speakers have told, girls are those who actually take care of their families. That is true. Because when we talk about girl students or girl children, they come to us saying that my mother is not well, that is the reason I couldn't come to the college today. But never I have seen any boy coming and telling the same thing to us. Because that empathy they have in them, inbuilt. And when we talk about the culture and ethos, women had power earlier and they have power today also. When we talk about Lakshmi, Saraswati and Parvati, Lakshmi was for the finance, Parvati was defense, and Saraswati for education. That was the culture we come from. And we have to build that culture again. We are doing it. 90% is done. With people like Ashutosh and Raminder, I feel we will go to 100% towards it. And not only that, humanity grounds, if we talk about, the children whom we are talking about, I won't gender bias here, because both boys and girls in India have that culture of humanity. But when we go abroad, we don't see that kind of culture. That is because we have an inbuilt nature of telling our children that nature has to be there in us. And nowadays, this problem of phone is causing a lot of indifference in parents and children, because everybody sits in the same hall, but nobody talks to each other. True. Everybody is there in their phone, talking to someone who is not close to them. So that has to be stopped. The education has to give that culture to us, which is lacking. And I always tell my students, just ask your mother whether she had her breakfast, whether she had her lunch. That we are lacking. We are very busy with our education, with our friends, but not taking care of our parents. So that also has to be taken care. And when we talk about education, after certain period of time, when women get married, have children, all the responsibility falls on the women to take care of the children. But it is actually 50-50% they have to take the responsibility, which doesn't happen. But women are so courageous that they leave their career for their children. And after 5 or 10 years, when they feel that their children are more capable and they can take care of themselves, that they again start from the scratch with their career. That is the power of women. And that is the education which Indian culture gives them. And that is because of that, our children are so capable that wherever they are, they come up as leaders. And we see a lot of leaders here in this hall. I congratulate all of you for conducting this program in such a wonderful manner. This stage you have done, whatever you have done here on this stage is commendable. I congratulate you all for doing this. And I see leaders in you, and I expect the same you will carry forward, making others as the leaders. Thank you very much. Your opinion.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Before I share my thoughts or views about the agenda, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Stosh and Madam for inviting me for today's event. Friends, I'm not a member, I am not really so much associated with this Vardhi Foundation. During COVID time, one of my classmates in engineering is a friend of Dr. Stosh and also a member of the governing body. He was seeking my support because they want to import certain medical equipment and they want to give as a charity to the needy, because it is a very drastic or pathetic situation we were all in. So that is how I connected to get these equipment out of the bonded warehouses and this thing. It was a struggle, of course. They all struggled and ultimately they came to me. So from that time onwards, Mr. Subbarao, my classmate, is very passionate what he was doing along with his other members. Then only I started knowing about foundation. Sir, you are doing a great job. My compliments, hearty compliments. And today when I am hearing about Madam, Mother and all, it was so touching that, Madam, many happy returns of the day. Your health and your care, your time to the society is very valuable. God bless you. When I was seeing the girl power, and Dr. Tehran was mentioning about the energy the girls displayed, and he was telling no male, very few male can exhibit that thing. Of course, we all know giving a birth itself, that is the painful, but it is a happy moment for any woman. While it is so, the theme of Elevate, or the very principle of Princeton, when Dr. Stosh was explaining, it started from education, careers, movement. Now this is the stage, this is the time Princeton is looking to prepare leadership.
Yes.
Leadership is nothing but else to lead self and lead the others. Others, thinking of others itself is a greater responsibility in my opinion. I think a couple of other speakers were also thinking, think of others. That is what one we all look forward when we are being a member of the society. Education, when we are speaking, I think it will impart responsibility, value driven. It need not be too much of English or any language. Believing ourselves, see through our heart, and keep moving in the society so that any needy person can be shall be supported. That is what I think education will impart. While I am not a great speaker like both people on dais, I too wanted to share a couple of thoughts about education, especially girl or a female education and what things. See, people will become good human beings. People will become good human beings. Yeah, no. No problem. Yeah. Before anything, just education is not career. It will make us a good human being. Then it also help us to build a healthy society. People who can think responsible, because education tell us how we are responsible. Dr. Lal was telling, we are all here because of someone else. Someone else in our lives have led us, taught us, supported us to become something. It need not be, everyone need not be number one or number two. It is not that. We are responsible and we are able to contribute. That is what my point. Then education will also bring us to act ethically. This is what we are missing. I don't say it is someone or anyone's mistake or anything. It is like we call Kala Mahima, because we are in the times. The times we exist has distracted or destroyed many of our values. When I was reading one article some time back, very long back, there were many invasions on our country or region or on Hinduism where we are living. The invaders, I don't want to name it, what I read, but the invaders identified that two things to weaken the system of Hinduism. That is women power and Gurukul Vyavastha. Because Gurukul Vyavastha is our education. Women power. Many years back, maybe it can be hundreds or thousands, the wealth and water are managed by women in our society. Male bring their energy, work, earn, but it is distributed in the society by the women. Water is our energy. Without water, there is no culture. Civilization has existed at rivers and water is existed. So, my learning is women education is very important. We run our own foundation, GMR Varalakshmi Foundation. Education is our first pillar. That too primary education. And we because of many of our factories are in remote or rural places, we find that someone was, I think Dr. Guleria was mentioning about, first, if anybody has to drop education, is the girl child in the family. If you go to a rural background, a basic family, the wife and husband works in the farm. The first girl, the elder girl or the only girl in the family, she may be 5 years, 6 years old, but still she manages the home. She sends the kids or the brothers to the school. She will take care of the home at that age. So we have a scheme called Bal Badi. Like we we bring those girls back to the school. We supplement them so that the family does not depend upon this girl to run the family. So this is the pathetic situation we are in. I personally work with another foundation like this, is Parada in Bundelkhand. About 800 girls are there in that school, coming from very basic economic situation, because going to school itself is a big luxury for them.
True.
But today, when we are hearing many speakers over there, that women can make many things. They have a focus, they have sacrifice, they have a shared responsibility. Many families in today, also women run their professional career and also run the family. So women education is so important for the society, not for her or her family, because society is nothing but families. In my opinion, anything first act or responsibility for the society is to give education to the girl child. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we turn to our virtual panelist, Professor Dr. Srivastava. Ma'am, please contribute your insights to the question.
Good evening. I believe you are able to hear me.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. First, very happy many returns of the day to Dr. Raminder Pathak. And of course, greetings to Dr. Ashutosh Pathak, who gave me this opportunity to be associated with Princeton Foundation. In fact, Vasant Kanya Mahavidyalaya was the first institution which got associated with Princeton Foundation through FFPL. And since 2011, our students have been getting benefited with this scholarship, fellowship, and internship. So on behalf of VKM, I thank you for this, Dr. Pathak. And today we are discussing, and I was hearing as to how education can create a healthy society. Of course, education is the catalyst, is the big change maker which can create, which can make, which can initiate a healthy society. But it is also very important as to what kind of education we are giving to our students, to our children. There was a time when I was a student, we used to get not only skill-based education for employability, but we also used to get life skills taught in the classes. We used to have religious and moral education class, we used to have sports class, and all these classes taught us so many things. They taught us how to be responsible, how to be able to work in a team, how to be able to tolerant with each other's views. So I see education as more than just imparting knowledge or practical skills. It is not only about career or degrees, as the students were also saying. They have very ably expressed themselves. In fact, the duty of education is to awaken the hidden power which is amongst all of us. And that hidden power is nothing miraculous. It is social empathy. It is emotional intelligence and ethical responsibility. When these powers are awakened amongst us, along with critical thinking, then only we can create a healthy society. So, such instructions as encourage students to think critically, ask questions, and reason instead of just absorbing things, instead of just roting the things, then only knowledge can be imparted, then only we can impart democratic principles to them, which will bring diversity and inclusivity, which will foster a sense of collective responsibility, accountability for the environment, for ecology, which is a major issue nowadays, and for the future community, for the future generation, there has to be accountability, there has to be a sense of accountability inculcated amongst our young generation. So education has a great role to play to make our society healthy, but it should also be considered as to what kind of education we are focusing upon. So this is what I think education can do for the society. It can become a force for social cohesiveness and fairness and well-being of the people, of the mankind. So in this way, thoughtful, knowledgeable, and caring citizens are formed, rather than just a society which is competitive and which lacks in empathy. So this will create a healthy society.
Thank you, ma'am. The discussion we have had till now has been illuminated. And to build upon this, the next question that I would like to pose to the panel is that we have programs like Princeton Foundation's Elevate initiatives, which provide mentorship to female students from across India, free of cost for their holistic development, as well as to nurture future leaders. Based on your experiences, how do you believe that such mentorship programs complement the traditional college education? And what role do they play in building not just skilled professionals, but also conscious citizens who can contribute to a healthier society?
Thank you, Mohini. Now, this particular question ties up very well with the earlier question that you had asked, that how do you imagine holistic education? I would like to state that the National Education Policy has provided space for value additions, for skill enhancement courses. So already there is a planning at the level of the Government of India. And the kind of initiatives that the Government of India has taken, where they are looking at women-led development, there is a space also for entrepreneurship. Now it is for us to look at the lead and to look at the lag. So what are the lag areas? The lag areas, for my understanding, and because I am in a college of 6,000 students and 200 teachers, and I am looking at University of Delhi's landscape of learning, I feel it's first thing that we need to do is faculty development programs. The teachers have to be really trained in order to be able to make that link between skill enhancement courses and employability, or creating that link with the industry. So that particular lag needs to be fulfilled. And in that process, universities have been asked, and the National Education Policy is also saying, bring about greater industry-academia linkages. So that particular part, while I am being told that, and I'm a teacher of political science, and I'm sitting in the seat of the principal of the college, and I taught for 32 years, nobody has yet told me how I am supposed to do that. How am I going to bring about a linkage with industry? Today, when we saw Dr. Guleria here, Dr. Trehan here, Mr. Bharat Lal here, and I see my friend Suman coming in here from Lady Shri Ram College, and she was a leader in every sense of the term. We saw all of them, this kind of a network that is not possible for all colleges to reach out to and for all young people to get in touch with. We undermine this particular linkage. How do you bring industries to a networking field where our students have a level playing field with them? There is, of course, the placement cell. But if this particular program, there is a round table of students who are sitting with the industry heads, or sitting with corporate heads, or sitting with social work organizations and speaking about what is it that they want to, or what is it that they aspire to do. And if there is an individualized learning path, where you are able to look at what are the limitations that this student has, and then you are able to hone it. You are looking at a dynamic workplace now. The future of the workplace has to engage with AI. It has to engage with part of it is that there is AI, which will replace some of the kind of work that used to be there in our times. While that is being replaced, the area that you are working on, this is very important. Not just from a way of saying, okay, you should all be caring and loving individuals, and women are such loving, creatures. It's not about that. I don't think we should essentialize that. I don't think we should be putting a lot of emphasis that women give birth to children and therefore they are essentially the best creatures on earth. No, it's not about birth giving. We are all creators in our own right. And even if some of us cannot have children, that doesn't make us lesser. So let's say we do not want to have children or cannot have children. That doesn't make us lesser. I think the idea of creation, the creative forces in us, you said Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga, we don't talk about their children so much. We talk about their energies. So these energies that is present in us, we must hone that. And in order to hone that, you need to bring about those linkages. Colleges cannot do it alone. And this kind of a hand-holding, apart from the scholarships that you provide, giving us a level playing field, where there is a corporate group sitting there, where there is a NGO group sitting there, where they are able to tell these students, hey, we are looking for these skills. And the skill that is going to be talked about most, because that AI cannot provide you, is actually empathy. So empathy training is a very important part of the learning that has to be developed now. You want to create workplaces which are inclusive, you cannot be talking about our differences. That's the first thing you don't need to do. You don't need to tell that, this particular community is better than this community. No, that's the first thing we should let go of. We should talk about harmony. We should talk about inclusiveness. We should talk about engaging with each other as human beings. And as team learn, peer team training or leadership, actually transformational leadership is about leading from behind. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to create an equal workplace? How are you going to have equal conversations? It's one thing to glorify everything that used to exist in the past, but right now the AI requires us to be far more empathetic than we were. And empathy training, transformational leadership is a very important lag that we have now. So I am saying let's not even think that this is about the scholarship. Peace and transformation are linked, and peace requires us to talk to each other and not to cancel each other out. And that training is a very important training. I would say emphasize on empathy training for transformational leadership. Bring people who are in the corporate sector, in the industry, in the government on a level playing field with the student. What you have done is amazing, getting the students to completely run this program. So I think that's basically it. We need to bring young people to the table itself. You can't have them listening. So I'm just speaking on their behalf. Things I have learned from them, I'm only telling you that. They are less judgmental, so you need to bring in their values here into the system. They are extremely stimulating. They give space to each other. When a question was being asked, this young girl who was sitting right here, just behind me, I said, why don't you get up and stand up? She said, let the other person finish. So I think you don't really need to tell them. They already know. They know that they are able to give that space to each other. I think we have to also encourage a sharing. We have to put in a trust. So there should be no deficit of trust on young people. This generational gap is not something we should be talking about. I think what we need to emphasize is on their strengths. You have seen it. So I would say empathy training, emphasizing on trust building is a very important part of that, and then learning something every day. I always feel every day you need to learn something new. Today I learned so much from when I came here. Keeping that innate curiosity is very, very important. So when we create these systems where we are able to synergize together, I think we would have created, the gap, the lag would be, you'd be able to link that up. So Princeton Foundation should right now create this foundation not just as a scholarship giving or mentoring team, it should get into the very, integration with the curriculum. Then look at another space where you look at how you can also bring in a link between employment, opportunities, employability, bringing in the skills of the future workplace. The future workplace is extremely dynamic, and many of us, I think Dr. Guleria can tell us how so many doctors may actually be replaced by some kind of instrumentation that is going to come in. I have no idea, but you could tell us, and what are those students going to learn? They have to learn better bedside manners. I think medical doctors need to learn that far more now, because the AI could replace somebody, but that bedside manner, that loving touch, that nobody can provide. So young people should not undermine what you are learning today. It's very important. I have learned that from my father, and I felt that that's the most important thing. When I came to Miranda House, I was a teacher. I didn't want to sit in this chair of the principal. I thought it was meant for authoritarian leadership only. But when I came in there, my father said, what do you like to do? I said, I like to help people. Well, you can do that sitting here. I want to work for the girl child. You can do that sitting here. So I realized I don't necessarily have to be hierarchical or authoritarian. I could be who I am and yet continue to do that. So giving back to others. But it is actually a skill. Many people told me this is not the way leadership should be. You're too accessible. You're too, humanized for being that leader. But I realized that you could bring all of that to the table. And you could still, the chair need not define me, I could define the chair. And for young people here who felt they don't have a voice, that's what I want them to think, that the values that they have, that's enough. We don't need to teach you anything, you already know it. All you need to do is to hone it, and we need to hold their hand to link them up to the people who matter most. And that could be the corporate sector, that could be the NGO sector, that could be creating an entrepreneurship system. So we are expected to do startup environment. How are we going to do that if we do not have industrialists and other people putting in funding for that? If we are able to do that, we would have done it. If you're looking at internships, what's that space that we need to explore? There's a whole lot of ideas. I know I've taken a little more time, but I think what I would like you to do here is not to see it only as a one-off event, which I'm sure you are not thinking of. How are you going to give, look at that lag? There's a lot of lead. You can see they're all leaders in their own right. I don't need to sit here to tell you that. But what you will really need to do is to make that link and create more harmonious workplaces. This time will go. This time will pass. The world is not going to look like this as it is looking now. You have to prepare yourself for that future. We cannot really decide. We are net migrants. They are the net citizens. We have to listen to them. So on that note, thank you so much.
I agree with you, but slightly disagree with you, because at a grassroots level, when we talk about there is a lot of gender bias, I agree. But when we talk about Princeton Foundation, the initiative they took as goal has transformed these girls that we can see. Now, they are not only thinking about career, not only examinations, curriculum, but they are also thinking about other initiatives, what they can do for the society is inculcated into them by Princeton Foundation. I feel that because of Princeton Foundation, many girls have
completely agree with that, no disagreement.
Come up with the initiatives. They say we are ready to support other girls who are underprivileged or marginalized. Not only that, if we talk about Princeton Foundation's initiatives, they have talked about they have given mentorship, internships. Internships are helping them to bridge the gap between academia and industry. Because of these internship programs, they are able to learn many things which we as college cannot teach them. We are not only concentrating on the curriculum and how much should they, what should they write in their examinations. All
Ma'am,
that.
I have not said that. I'm just saying that
nothing
lag
like that.
for the students.
I'm just telling you what Princeton has done and
I'm
how
aware,
much
I'm aware of
transformative the children have become because of this.
I'm aware of it.
And I would say these leaders in future will again transform the other generations to come forward. And I would say not only this, I will take this platform to tell you that AI is replacing everything and everywhere. So I urge all the younger generation to learn the skills of AI. Let it be Notebook LLM, Perplexity, Gemini, Cosmo, whatever it may be. And it is also coming into research field. So you have to know as to what you have to take over from AI. AI should not replace you, but actually it should support you. to improve your skills. That's what I would like to say. I'm not contradicting you, I'm just telling you my view about
I
the
believe
things. Okay?
Princeton Foundation is doing a yeoman job.
Yes,
All I'm
yes.
saying is we should replicate it. That's all I'm saying.
And I would also say in our curriculum, whatever Princeton's foundation is doing, if we can include that mentorship program, internships, everything if we can include in the curriculum, I think we can transform generations together to become the leaders. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think very passionate and address and the challenge, disruptive society we are in. AI can be an oxygen. AI can also be a congestion. How you track ourselves in that and reach what we need. I think every child is having access to AI today. But what is that we ask? I think that is what Madam was saying. So what is the question you ask? How you ask? That makes difference what we get it. Okay, while we go to AI, it is a different world. But I think Princeton's Elevate and the thinking of mentorship, I think it is a great idea. When I heard Mr. Dr. Stosh about transforming from student to leader, lead self and society, I repeat again. I think you are looking to the next level of your own students, and by snowballing effect, these students will make societies. That is what all of us have seen in our life. While I don't want to talk about the advantages of mentorship, definitely mentorship brings the experience, the learning of a senior person or even a colleague. That is what the mentorship. When I am hearing Madam, I was thinking of Dr. Lal was mentioning that his daughter, 8th class student, she was asked to spend 2 hours a day. That is okay. It may be big or small, I don't want to teach another girl. So when we are talking about corporate social responsibility or a social responsibility, we in our organization, we have an extended responsibility. We call it ISR, individual social responsibility.
Very nice.
It is not that society does or anything. So each individual has a responsibility to support the society. In my opinion, like a 8th class student can afford and spend some time, a needy, another child, to build her career or studies, whatever it may be. So mentorship shall be an individual social responsibility.
Very nice.
Like we encourage our employees to spend some time. It can be service, it can be charity, or it can be time. In my opinion, time is the most valuable contribution one can sacrifice for others. Everyone has only 24 hours with us. We have our own responsibilities, but still we shall find time to give it to someone else good. I think that is what ISR brings in. I think this mentorship brings responsibility. Mentorship will help them understand better challenges once they are growing in their lives, how they can help society also around them, so that if it is also again a snowballing effect. One family is good, then it can build another good family, another responsible family. So one session I would like to, while hearing Madam, I felt that in the schools we have parent-teacher meetings. So, okay, you talk about their own children or the school. Why don't we cultivate an idea that the parents shall spend weekly 1 hour with some other child or a family. You ask them. You don't ask any fee or anything. You ask them, we will support your child because anyhow, Garka Pan, if father tells the son or daughter, it will be not adopted. But they can spend time with others. So one way of spreading this mentorship is schools itself. They can mentor other students because anyhow their children have their own mentorship. Right, wrong, we hear others rather than inward. So one is how we can all popularize this ISR, individual social responsibility, to mentor needy people. And industry and education, like industry university when we call our college, I think very important. The alumni, at least they should give it back by way of mentorship, sponsorship, or this thing, because I don't want to comment on the education system. We have millions of unemployment. On the other side, we will not find employable sources. Exactly. This is the gap.
Exactly.
This is the gap. I think the NEP has focused on it. Upskilling, upskilling in our own employees also, we call them upskilling, is another way of making our organizations as efficiency. But I think upskilling is the building of the society to the next times. I think mentorship plays very big role, specific to Princeton. I think it is a great idea, sir. We all support, commit, whatever way it is possible. Thank you. Thank all the students and would-be leaders, or leaders already, many of them I have seen. The way they conducted the program, commendable, compliments and all the best.
Well said.
Thank you, sir. Rashna ma'am.
I was listening to the other panelists, and it was very interesting to hear all three of you. Of course, mentorship is an important part of, I would say, not only of a student's life, but of all of us. We all need a mentor to guide us at some point of our life. And in NEP, of course, we have this mentorship program where we have to designate a teacher for a group of students, and the teacher mentors the students. However, when we talk of mentorship programs like Elevate of the Princeton Foundation, I see that this kind of program significantly enhance the college experience, especially in India, where this kind of initiatives are very few. Numerous students, mostly women, particularly women, I would say, and that too first generation learners or individuals who come from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. They possess talent, but they often lack exposure and self-confidence. Mentoring can help them here. I have seen students in my college, and I have seen that for the past 10 years, a number of our students have come out because of this mentoring program of the Princeton Foundation. In fact, one of our students about whom I know, she is in the US pursuing her doctoral program. So that girl from Banaras to the US, she found her way to there because of this mentorship program. So these programs are extremely important for those students who do not have that much of exposure. In fact, colleges prioritize completing the curriculum, making assessments, and mentorship address, which is a vital need in India, is sometimes neglected in colleges because of the dearth of resources, I believe. So in India, mentorship program is quite necessary to enhance confidence among students, to guide students in their career paths. Many a times we do this in our classes. We guide our students, tell them what career options do they have beside the set career options of like civil services and etc. Now students are getting this kind of mentorship from not only from Princeton Foundation, but also from other institutions, from other NGOs which are guiding them. It is better to get mentorship from this kind of institutions instead of getting it from AI, because AI has now become a mentor not only for young generation, but for like everyone. We all go for AI, we all go to AI for advice. So educational institutions lack in mentorship, and there this kind of program can fill in and guide students, provide them information, provide them insights, and offer them personalized support. Having mentors who are familiar with both Indian context and global prospects can be greatly impactful, and this is what Princeton Foundation is doing, I believe, especially for students in Varanasi in our college. These programs not only cultivate skilled professionals, but also they foster aware and grounded citizens. So when young women recognize that their personal development is closely related with the societal progress, whether through leadership programs, community participation, etc., they nurture a healthier and more inclusive social and personal environment. So I believe Princeton Foundation is doing a great job with its program like Elevate, and surely we have introduced a number of VAC and SEC under NEP, but still we need more I would say more people, philanthropists, to come forward with this kind of model. As somebody was saying that this model should be replicated, I fully agree with this, because more and more of our students, more of our young women, not only young women, but young men and women, they need this kind of mentoring so that they move on the right path. So this is what I would like to add to all what is already expressed by the three panelists.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I must say it has been a total privilege for all of us to witness this conversation between four extraordinary leaders. And I believe the responses, though different, beautifully complement each other, showing us different pathways through which education transforms society. Thank you, everybody, and I'm sure I'm especially grateful to our panelists for giving us so much to reflect upon, and most importantly, your words have guided us to act. To our students and audience, the vision of education we discussed today isn't just an ideal, and it's a call to action for each of us. I request you all to carry this forward in your life, because this panel discussion should not merely be a discussion, but an action. So thank you so much, everybody. I would like to request the panelists to please take their seats. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
As we transition from discussion to reflection, we are reminded of how the Princeton Foundation, through its support and guidance, how positively shaped the journey of many young women.
While we celebrate here together today, several students who are the part of this journey could not be physically present with us. However, they remain connected with us online
and have shared their experience and reflections. We now present a video compilation of their messages so that even across distances, we can feel their presence and celebrate their journey together.
We often talk a lot about change, but only a few people come to the forefront to create the change that they want to see in the world. So I'm extremely grateful to be given this opportunity, because when Princeton sees the potential in you, they choose you. And the next best thing you can do is work towards the greatness of
Scholarship has been a great support. It gave me hope and clarity about the future. It helped me to set long-term goals and made me believe that education can truly change our circumstances.
This scholarship brought me financial stability and also reduced burden to my parents, which allowed me to focus on my studies and achieve my goals without any interruptions.
Being selected for this meaningful opportunity by the Princeton Foundation is an important step ahead for my academic journey, and I feel reassured that my efforts and aspirations are being recognized.
On behalf of weekend students, we truly appreciate Princeton Foundation's efforts to invest in students and create opportunities that support education and future growth.
Self-confidence. Being selected in the scholarship made me believe my own potential. Also, the scholarship reminds me that my efforts matter either personally or academically.
More than just financial support to me. It means reassurance. Reassurance that someone believed into my potential even before I fully stepped into it myself. Knowing that an organization committed to peace, learning, and global understanding invested in my potential is deeply meaningful.
Reminders that our efforts value and we should continue to work with sincerity and purpose. I'm really looking forward to the experiences and the interactions that will come along this program, especially the chance to learn through practical.
To learning, contributing and growing through the opportunities that will be provided by the Foundation, and to making the most of this platform in a responsible way.
This opportunity motivates me to work harder, stay focused, and use the support provided to move closer to my academic and personal goals.
I'm grateful for the trust placed in students like us, and I'm committed to being sincere, accountable, and disciplined throughout the Princeton Foundation. Thank you once again for this opportunity.
Princeton Foundation.
Thank you, Princeton Foundation, for the scholarship. Thank you, Princeton Foundation, for providing the scholarship.
Thank you, Princeton Foundation, for believing in us and supporting our journey.
Princeton Foundation!
These stories remind us why initiatives like Princeton Foundation, every dream nurtured, every milestone achieved, become a step toward a stronger and a healthier society.
As we move towards the closing moments of today's conference, we return once again to culture and expression. Reminders that education and arts together shape not only informed minds, but also sensitive and balanced societies.
We now present Kathak, one of India's classical dance traditions, where stories are brought alive through rhythm, movement, and expression. Please welcome Anna Ambada to the stage for a Kathak solo performance.
बाजत मीरदंड तीरवट शुभंग गतीले तगत सब संग तक्रं तक्रं sa ma 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 ga ma ga da 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 ma da ma ni 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 sa ni da ma ga sa ni da ma da ma ga sa ni da ga ni ga ma da ni da 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 रस राज गावत सब मिल बजावत नाचत बिरवट मिरदंग बाजत मिरदंग 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 धूम किट तक तिट तक दिगन धान धान धा ना धूम किट तक धान ताकत धूम किट तक तिट तक दिगन धान धान धा ना धूम किट तक धान ताकत धूम किट तक तिट तक दिगन धान धान धा ना धूम किट तक धान ताकत धूम किट तक तिट तक दिगन धान धान धा धान धान धा धान धान दादिन ताकत दादिन ताकत दादिन ताकत दादिन ताकत दादिन ताकत
Thank you, Anna, for that graceful and captivating performance. As we come to the closure of this memorable gathering, it's time to express our sincere gratitude to all those whose efforts, coordination, and belief made Elevate 2026 possible. To deliver the vote of thanks, we now invite Dr. Raminder Pathak, chairperson of the Princeton Foundation, whose continued commitment and guidance have been central to the foundation's work in expanding educational opportunities and supporting young women across the country. Please welcome Dr. Raminder Pathak to the stage.
Hello. Thank you. What a day. I cannot just express my feelings here. You know, seeing everyone here who have traveled from far or near, all the students who are here for the Princeton Foundation Fellowship and scholarship winners here who came with their parents and their families, our esteemed guests who are here, all the board of advisors, board of directors who are here, and our esteemed guests. So a sincere thanks to all of you. Today has been overwhelming for me. It's just hard to put it in words, you know. So I would like to thank all the Princeton Foundation Fellowship and Scholarship winners who are the part of organizing committee, who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this day a success. So a sincere thanks and a round of applause for the organizing committee. I would also like to thank my mother, who has inculcated the values of hard work, resilience, and to give back. And a special thanks to my husband, Ashutosh, who has always been a driving force behind me. It was very inspiring to hear the panel discussion here today. Rachna ma'am and Vijayalata ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am, you know, your thoughts, you know, they were so provoking, you know, inspiring and thought-provoking that, you know, we really need to have a discussion post this meeting because I think you brought up a really good, you know, ideas that we need to implement to take this further. We all know education is the most powerful tool that can unlock a woman's potential. It not only gives you education, but it also gives you the confidence, independence, and also the ability to shape your own future. The future of your own self, future of your family, and the future of the society. So it's very important, the education. In addition, at Princeton Foundation, we believe that in addition to education are important the moral values, the values of gratitude, as we all said, the values of empathy, so important. Be empathetic to people around you. Be grateful for the opportunities that you get. These are values that will really bring you as a next future leader of the world. So by doing so, we are not just empowering women, we are also building an inclusive, compassionate, and a sustainable world. So today, I would say this is just a beginning. This today event is a beginning of the first conference in India. We had a couple of conferences in US, but this is the first time we are having a conference, and we look forward to have many more in the future. And keep up the spirit and keep up the work that you all are doing. And I would end with a famous quote. If you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, you have to walk together. So let's all take an oath that we have to walk far, we have to walk together, we have to hold hands, we have to do it. So let me hear from the girls. Can we do it? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for those heartfelt words and for acknowledging everyone who contributed to making today's conference such a meaningful success. As we conclude the plenary session of Elevate 2026, we carry with us new ideas, renewed commitment, and strengthened connections. Today was not just a conference, it was a celebration of education, empowerment, and the culmination of relentless efforts that brought this vision to life. It is truly overwhelming to witness the success of this day with all of you here. And as we move forward, we hope to remain united as a family, working together towards a better and brighter future for all. Thank you all once again for being a part of this meaningful journey and for making this gathering truly memorable. We now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल गायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you once again for your gracious presence and participation. As we leave today, May the conversations and connections we have built here continue to inspire action and hope beyond this hall.
We look forward to meeting you again as the journey grows stronger in the years ahead. Until then, we wish you a safe journey home and a wonderful evening.
Goodbye, and thank you for being a part of Elevate 2026.